God damn, it feels good to be back, good sir. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to Justified. I'm Dave Colford, or David Colford, however you want to go by it. And
according to the letterhead, you are David.
David? All right, we're going to stick with David then. I am David Colford, and I'm joined on this nice, comfy couch that was free with Mr.
This
Riley
isn't
Trudeau.
the free couch, but
No?
it's a free couch.
Okay.
Yeah.
Multiple.
Well, thank you, though. Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
It's an honor, as always.
Yeah. It's good to see you every week.
It is.
We're socially
you're here
distancing.
with the Queen.
Yeah.
You got the Queen to your side. She's being canceled right now.
We got
Must
a lot
bring
of cancel
a
culture.
tear of joy to your eye.
Yeah, well, she's... I don't like her.
Racist.
I don't like her.
You can use the word.
I could say it here?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's bona fide racist. Go check out The Plunge, though, if you want racist comments on the Queen.
No.
Not of us. No, I want to make it very clear. Not of we are not making those comments.
Racist commentary of racism.
Yes, from the Queen.
From the Queen.
Yes.
By us.
The Plunge
Bam.
podcast does not support racism in any sense whatsoever.
We explicitly condone it.
Yes, we
is
are
condone?
not fans. Yeah.
Okay,
condone. Yep.
And we're joined with a special guest.
Please don't introduce me after that.
All right, here we go. Wash your mouth, everyone. Yep. We are joined by probably, I would say, one of the man, the myth, the legends. He is a Penguin Plunge exclusive. Let me tell you, he's the man with the biggest wallet and heart for charity in town and in the state. Founder of Podcast New Hampshire and We Need to Talk. Please welcome, again, the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Charity himself, Meader from We Need to Talk.
That's a lot of honorifics. Thank you so much for the great introduction.
Dude, you've got a resume, man. I mean, I'm trying to do a little bit of research for this. You're up there, and you've done a lot. How old are you? Can I say that?
30.
Perfect. Look at that, dude. I'm 24. Now, I have maybe 1/5 of the stuff you've done. And I'm proud.
Yeah, well, you got 6 years to cram it all in.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. 2020 has kind of hampered us all down for a couple of years. So it's
That's
a lot of work, but I figured we should all start with an icebreaker.
Yeah. Okay.
I've only met Meader once, twice. No,
Once.
Meader has been. You've been on the show. You were at the Plunge thing. So I've seen you at least twice.
You met him at Curly's Comedy Club.
Yes.
Ah.
That's the second time.
Yes.
No, you came to Pepin's house too, and we recorded We Need to Talk at Nate's house.
That's Hunter, host
there.
of The Plunge.
Oh shit, you're right. I'm so sorry. Wow, what an asshole.
Somehow you've probably met more Plunge hosts than anyone else. Because every time there's a Plunge-ism, I'm there. And for some reason, there's someone new with me in our rotating carousel
Pretty much,
of Plunge personalities. So the first time I met Meader was at the first Podcast New Hampshire meetup. And with me that time was Davis, former primary host of the Plunge, one of the OG 3. He moved to New York, went to acting school, living his dream right now. Second time I met you, was it the second meetup? I think it was the second meetup.
You had to have been on my show between then. You don't think so?
I don't think I was.
Huh. I think you guys were shortly after last year's Plunge.
Yeah, we had a few things. Pretty in a short span. I went to your live show.
Yeah.
At Curly's, and then a month later, you came to mine. That's where you met Dave. You met Hunter, my other host.
Yeah.
And then
your husband.
My husband.
Yeah.
my esteemed love. And then at the second New Hampshire meetup, I brought Tuba.
Yeah.
He exists.
He's a guy.
Yeah, he certainly is a person.
Does he have that baby yet?
He did.
Yeah.
He's a dad.
Oh wow! Congratulations, Tuba.
Papa Tubes now.
Yep.
That's wow.
Tuba.
Jeez, him.
Tupa?
Tuba.
I like that.
And-
It's like Tupac. You know he's gonna rock that.
And then you pretty much met everyone else via the Penguin Plunge.
Yeah.
But you've met a wide array in different weird ways throughout the years.
Yeah, I mean, for a podcast, a lot of people, they have one or two people on the show. You guys have like a whole entire crew. You got it feels like the Plunge is a fraternity more than it is a more than it is a podcast.
I would say so. Didn't you get called that a lot when
We
you first started?
we were for a while we were called the Arcade Fire of podcasting, which I'm as a 24-year-old don't get at all, but I went with it. As a 30-year-old, that seems more in your lane. Can you explain? Does Arcade Fire have like 45 members?
I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't know what age range can properly explain it to me, but it's certainly not ours.
Maybe it's a genre thing.
Ah, okay, yeah.
Oh, that would do it.
We're
yeah.
hipsters.
Grunge. Is that
Yeah.
still around?
Yeah,
All right, let's get some grunge going. You got a new vinyl set.
I do. We'll throw
Yeah.
some grunge on there.
I don't even know
Ooh.
what grunge is. It's like Nickelback, but like extreme. I'm thinking.
Like Nirvana,
Yeah, probably.
Extreme
Bush, or
Extreme Nickelback. So Meader.
yeah.
Start with an icebreaker. I think
Okay.
this is
Yeah,
all.
sorry.
No, this is good. This is
I
good.
plunged us.
No, you're good. Keep it up, man. This is good. I've only met you a couple times. First off,
Yeah.
I said this before we started recording. Voice of Silk. That is, you should add that to your resume if you haven't already.
No, I really appreciate that. I'm on like a couple of sites that you can sell work like services that you offer, and I am on there for being able to do voiceovers and stuff.
No way.
If you take
Yeah.
Sec OTC, know that you should not be pregnant or have high cholesterol. Like one of those.
Exactly.
Can I hire you? How much do you charge per line?
For you, I'd probably just do it.
Oh, all right. So how's it sound? $5.
Yeah.
I'll get like a paragraph.
Oh, can we have him
Yeah.
with Jack?
Yeah, we could. Yeah, we could do that. I had a guy. Actually, I had a girl who I hired on Reddit who would send hairless cat pictures, but like in very lewd positions.
Okay.
One of them would be like leaning over the sink taking a water, but the person would take a picture from behind it, just be like the cat's butthole and stuff.
So I was one of the recipients of
Yeah.
these string of photos that we went on to name the Cat Ball Bandit.
Yeah.
And
You've talked about them on the show.
yeah, and it turns out it was Dave.
Yeah.
Oh.
So what I'm thinking is
Wow.
we start that, but we get your voice and do like
Yeah.
a voiceover. Would you
Okay.
support that?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, cool. I'll hit you up with details later and we'll go from there. Anyway, the icebreaker was I was going to ask for social security numbers, but we're just going to go over that. I feel like
Sick.
that's
Okay.
a good. We already got the good icebreaker there. So Meader, tell me about your podcast. We need to talk. What is it all about? How did you meet Pippin? So on and so forth.
Yeah. Pepin and I knew each other since 7th grade. And then we were really good friends in high school. And then we roomed together in college. So I've known Pepin pretty much my whole life.
Yeah.
And I guess the general idea is just we take a topic and we just talk about the topic until we're done talking about the topic. However long that takes, 30 minutes, hour and a half, whatever.
I like that. That's a good. I feel like with like podcasts nowadays, a lot of people are trying to do like, oh, this podcast is going to be about WandaVision, and this is a WandaVision exclusive podcast where I feel as like there's really no podcasts that are like just general ideas, like it's either comedy or news or crime or whatnot. But the beauty with We Need to Talk is, dude, you want to talk about crime today? Let's talk about crime today. You want to talk about soybeans? I got you covered. We'll talk about soybeans. What's the strangest topic that's popped up on your show?
Oh man, we've talked about incest so many times. So many times. It's just naturally comes up.
Right.
You talk about Greek mythology, you're definitely talking about incest.
Oh, of course. No, of course. I mean, that'll definitely Greek mythology would do that. Do you start out? You start out with like let's get serious on Greek mythology, and then just somehow it leads its way into incest, or is it just kind of just pops up?
Well, that's the thing about our show is like it started out as we were really talking about like philosophy. We were just sitting around drinking beers and talking about philosophy. So we talked about like what's that ship that if you like replace how many pieces of a ship do you need to replace before it becomes a whole new ship? It's no longer the same ship. That general idea.
Wait, yeah, if you think about it. Yeah, wait, if you think about it, that's true though.
Right?
Because if you rebuild the Titanic, That's no longer the Titanic. That's
Well, at what point? If you replace
Titanic Jr.
one lifeboat on the Titanic, is it still the Titanic? Of course it is. Nobody would say it's not. But at what point can you say this is no longer the same thing?
I'm gonna say like when you get. That's a great question. So when you're renovating a ship, that's still the same ship because you're renovating that. But I feel like if it's totally destroyed, you make a new one. But yeah, like at what point would that be a new ship? Do you think like 80% new ship?
I don't know. Though, see, the way we framed it is we took it away from the ship and put it to like the brain. So if they could make synthetic neurons that were exactly the same as organic ones, and they replaced one by one every single one, at the end, are you still the same person? If you have a fully synthetic brain now.
Yeah, that's it. I'm gonna say yes. What do you think?
It definitely depends. It depends on so much. I know we ended up with that, like led into us talking about stream of consciousness. So like if you're conscious the whole time, then like what makes up you, you know? Like is it your stream of consciousness? The fact that you're actively thinking at all times? Or is it something else? Is there a physical makeup of you that matters?
This is this is awesome because I was not expecting to go here, and this is great. So,
Well, you weren't expecting to talk, but guess what?
here we are.
You need to talk.
I was talking about stream of consciousness. Did you go to school for philosophy?
No, I went for a double major in business management and finance.
Those are two different. Okay, yeah, philosophy and business management are totally okay.
Very different.
I like that. Riley, what's your view on the ship? At what point is it a new ship? If
Well, I
you
mean,
rebuild it piece by
What
piece.
about like humans are the same way, man?
Yeah, humans are a ship.
Humans are a ship. So at what point are you an entirely different you than you previously were?
Are we all just technically a bunch of balls of cells?
That's the question, right? Is there something more? I think there's two things, right? There's the physical thing. There's the physical ship, right? The thing that you're looking at right in front of you that has all these different parts and pieces. And then there's the idea of the ship. And I think those are separate things that are merged together in our minds. So if you can replace all of the pieces of the ship one by one, and it's still the same idea of the ship, because that idea has been there all along.
Hey, I have an answer.
Yeah.
It's 7 years.
Which one, 7 years?
All of the above. So your body fully replaces itself every 7 years with new cells. There's not if you went 7 years in one day, there's not a single cell in your body that was there 7 years ago.
Even my balls?
Your balls. You got brand new balls.
I got new balls?
every 7 years.
Whoa.
Now,
Yeah.
if you get older, is it like every 10 years? Like
7 years.
So 7 years throughout. So if you're a 70-year-old man, listen to that. You're gonna get you're gonna get a new pair of balls in 7 years, my good man.
And they'll probably be root beer.
They're probably they'll get some work done with those. I wanted to talk about. Are you the man, the myth, the legend behind Podcast New Hampshire?
I actually I had the idea, but when I executed it, I found out that Clay Groves had already started building a community in the area. So arguably, I would say Clay is the one who started the thing.
All right, but hear me out.
Mhm.
I'm gonna put you number 2, 1.5. Does that sound good?
I think Clay worked with Jay Scott from there were many people before me. I stood on the shoulder of giants and I just slapped a really recognizable brand. So I did the business part.
That's half the battle, though.
That is half the battle.
Like more people recognize Steve Jobs than Steve Wozniak. Like
Yeah.
I mean, seriously.
That's fair.
Like,
But Jobs was cuter, so that helps.
Well, yeah,
you don't catch fish for a living. Like some might say that you're cuter.
Yeah.
I'd say
I got nowhere to go with that.
I'd say you're pretty cute, man. I mean, look at that voice.
Yeah, look at that voice.
Look at that voice. Put it on some
But
paper.
so you went on after you started Podcast New Hampshire, though, and made Podcast USA.
Yes.
And that the entire community now has grown over to over 400 shows.
Yeah, I think there's 500 or 600.
Oh my.
which has to be one of the biggest podcasting networks
Probably
in the world, right? Like,
Probably, but here's the thing: like, we don't own anything. Like, it's a network, but it's also not. It's also just like a community. So,
which I think is perfect for podcasting.
Yeah.
Especially in the indie community that we live in. Like, you're gonna have your Joe Rogans, and Spotify owns exclusive rights to these celebrities' podcasts. But when you're not a celebrity, there's this group of people who all of us know the struggle that goes into making a podcast when you don't have Spotify's backing, and you don't have like, you start off with talking into a laptop, and then one day you got your first mic, and you have these people out there in the world that you are like, hey, you want to listen to this? Give me some feedback. Like, you don't have the resources that all these celebrities have, who decide, oh, you know what? I have an audience. I have backing. I'm just going to start this, and it'll start good, and I'll already have an audience. Like, I think it's a great way for everyone in this community that we're in to just grow. And I think it's really cool the way you did it and made these local meetups. And like, I think it was really awesome the way you did it and how you kind of put something on this local community that we're in.
The biggest idea was twofold. One was to share information. Like you're saying, you start out with nothing and you learn from other people about how to do better. Other people who have been doing this longer, or maybe you have encountered that exact issue that you're running into, and will be able to resolve it for you. And the other one is just general networking, being on each other's shows, helping promote each other, working together, because like, I'm not competing with you. We can work together to both get our voices heard and get our show out there.
I agree with that 100%. Do you see, I'm not in the podcast game as much as you two now. Do you, Meader, feel you don't have to name any podcasts, but have you worked with podcasts in the past that are like, hey, like, I'm going to go on your show, you're going to go on my show, we're going to boost the numbers up, and we're never going to talk to each other again?
I'm really big about trying to maintain that relationship, because I think that's really going to be a good thing. There's a show called the Steve & Kyle podcast. They were nominated alongside us for the podcast awards this year. In 2020 for the comedy category. So I reached out to everybody who was nominated, and I'm like, hey, we should all cross promote.
Right.
And only a couple people got back. Like Amy Schumer didn't get back to me. Kevin Bacon didn't get back to me, obviously, but
right,
because they're fucking stuck up.
Right.
Amy Schumer's out here being a walking tampon. You don't need to worry.
Yeah, I was about to say, you'll be
sellout.
fine. Yeah, you'll be fine.
Hey, she didn't win, so
good.
Can we make this official on Justified? We're an anti-Amy Schumer podcast.
I'm in.
Meader,
add it to the list.
All right.
Yes. Here, take a Sharpie. We have a thing of all of our accolades on the wall. Sharpie,
right down there.
Yeah,
I got you
right
covered,
under the
buddy.
Ukraine.
Most anti-Amy Schumer.
I'm sure she's a nice lady.
I'm sure she is, and I'm sure her show's great. I've never listened to it. I won't put myself through that.
It's dog shit, Meader. You don't have to do it.
Have you?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I don't know why. I was so bored at work one day. I was like, fuck it, might as well put on an episode. Do not. Save your time. Just go eat dog food. I'd rather eat that than watch the show. I'm sorry.
To your point though, Dave, a lot of, like, if you look at the Plunges listeners in general,
Right,
it's a lot of the podcast community.
there are a lot of
Because
podcasts.
I think a common theme is indie podcasts listen to other indie podcasters.
Right.
Yeah.
They don't care about Kyle Kuzma's new Warzone podcast. They want to hear about their friends who support them, like the Simmons and Moore podcast, who retweet all their stuff, who interact with them. When they put out polls, they vote. When they put out tweets asking for interaction, they answer. When they put out like stuff, the people who are in your circle, who are just in your general realm of what you're doing, and they're helping out, you want to help them back out. And I think it's the common theme that people around you, these big circles of people you turn out to interact with start to develop, no matter how it happens. And those kind of turn into your podcasting friends, and the people who you just start to interact with, you check their show out, they listen to yours. Like, it's just kind of how it naturally happens, I feel, in the indie podcast thing. And
it's like friendships. It all just circles back to friendships. You meet one or two guys at the lunch table. Those one or two guys turns into the whole table. That whole table turns to the cafeteria, and the next thing you know, you're a principal of the school. It's funny
Is that how it works?
Yeah, well, there's, for principal of the school, there's a lot of qualifications, but knowing people, I'm sure, helps out. That'll
Yeah.
sure speed up the process. But what I want to get to, and this is going to be an everybody question, because I got to get my my second husband involved here. Good old Riley. I'm looking at you. Yeah, we just got married. Yeah, we just.
Were you covered in peanut butter?
Every Friday night I am.
That shit
So
bust.
my personal thing I love about podcasting is you can apply business to it, but in a fun and silly way. You can kind of express it in your own way. You don't have to be formal. You can if you want, but you don't have to be formal about it. Meader, what is like your favorite thing about podcasting? Why did you get into the podcasting game?
I fought getting into it for a while, but the biggest thing that it was for me was to start out was that Pepin and I lived really far away from each other, an hour and a half away. So this gave us an excuse to get together every single week.
Friendship.
So it was keeping up with him, and since then it's grown to not just him, but to everybody in the community. Like you're saying, like it's grown to being able to network with everybody and meet some really cool people doing amazing things.
I like that. You're a very wholesome guy, Meader.
I'm just trying to say what I think you want me to say, Dave.
dude, you can say whatever you want here, man. This hour slot is allotted for you. I want you to, if you want to vent for the next 45 minutes, man, be my guest, man. If there's someone that's bugging you or there's something going on in the world, you're like, dude, fuck your questions. I just got to get this off my chest. Go for it, man.
I'm good.
Therapist here.
I'm good. I love being here, and I love what you do. So keep it coming.
Oh, thanks, man.
So, Meader, tell me about your extra life stuff.
Yeah, so every year I do participate in the Extra Life 24-hour stream. The first year I think I made it like 23 hours, and there was like one viewer at the end of it. So I'm like, I'm just gonna take care of myself for the last hour and go to bed.
Smart, man.
Last year I had viewers all the way through, so I stayed for the full 24.
Hell yeah.
I have.
Oh, he's getting up. I love that shirt.
These bad guys right here.
Oh, he's got some medals.
My Extra Life medals, silver for my first year when I raised 500, and last year I raised over 1,000.
Hell yeah,
man.
And that's all, that's all community, man. That's all people like getting what we're doing. It's raising money for like kids with cancer and like sick kids. Well, that's an amazing cause. So, it's kind of, as far as marketing goes, people want to open up and have the opportunity to give to something like that.
I find it's my only time in podcasting where my family supports it when I do things for charity.
I did two really interesting incentives this year. One was there's this hot sauce called The Bomb. Are you guys familiar?
Yeah, no, we have some. We got some on the shelf.
I said if at any point anybody donates a single $100 donation, I will immediately take some of the bomb.
Oh, it hurts.
And at 7 a.m.
Oh, no.
somebody donated $100, and I had to start. I was sweating at 7, like right off the bat.
Can I tell you? So for our live stream, Dave came in at 6.
Yeah, like around 6.
Dave came in at 6, and he did somewhat lukewarm things. Yeah. Not hot ones, but somewhat lukewarm things.
Yeah, I'm familiar.
And a steamed show.
Yeah.
And we also had Da Bomb at 7 a.m. on our 24-hour thing.
Wow.
And let me tell you,
industry standard.
It's not fun. Da Bomb hurts.
Yeah. And then you have to, the worst part is like, then you have to sit there for the rest of the time.
Yeah. Yeah. So what time did you go for yours?
Midnight to midnight.
Midnight to midnight. Okay.
Yeah. The first 12 hours, the first 18 hours aren't bad. It's those last few hours that really suck.
Yeah. Oh yeah, when it gets dark out.
Yeah. And you've been doing stuff all day, but luckily, like with this, I play with different people. I play different games. I switch it up all the time. So it's really fun. It's a community event, so everybody takes part in it. Last year I had some of my real life friends come, and we played Mario Party at the end of the night. That was really awesome. Fun. And the other incentive was if I hit $1,000, I was going to completely shave my face. And I had a massive beard at that point. And I shaved it live on stream.
And I don't think I've ever seen you beardless before either. So
Imagine a small, tiny baby. That was me.
it looked like Tuba's kid.
What we called.
I lose at least 10, maybe 15 years when I shave. Legitimately.
See, that could be good though. Sometimes depends on how you like it. Me personally, I like a little scruff.
Yeah.
Rough
You're
McGruff.
an 8 o'clock shadow kind of guy.
Yeah. That's usually when I wake up too, so it's perfect. It fits both lifestyles. So what for that 24-hour live stream, extra lives that you do, like what's your go-to game, I guess?
I try and switch it up every couple hours. I think last year I ended up playing like 10 different games. The first year I did it, I played a lot of Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past.
There you go.
I think when I popped in the first year you did it, you were playing Portal 2, and I was like, fuck yeah.
I might have popped that on. I don't even remember. That was that was a wild night. Because that was when I started out the night drinking energy drinks, and then realized the next year, like,
Wrong choice.
No, don't do that.
We learned that the first year. I figured going in that I should just stay away from alcohol, caffeine. So I didn't drink coffee. We didn't drink at all. And I learned it was probably the right move.
Yeah.
And yeah. You were part of the inspiration behind and the thought that went behind plunging for a cause and doing our Special Olympics thing. So I was really happy to have you actually join our team this year, because you and Dave, it kind of all started with a conversation at that second meetup. So really happy to have you join our team this year. How was your first plunge?
It was amazing. It was great. I did a front flip into the
I
ocean.
watched that back in the drone footage. I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Meader's doing flips.
Yeah, I'm not, for people who are just listening, I'm not really a small guy. I'm 230 pounds, so doing a little front flip into the ocean in the middle of the winter is pretty great.
It's a good
early.
sentence.
It was early out too. Like it wasn't like
we went at like 10, yeah.
Yeah, brisk cold day. I think it was like 30, 40 the next day. It was awesome though. It was fun as hell, man. When you guys all decided to go, I was like just getting out of that warm tent. And I was
Yeah,
like,
so
guys,
we were waiting on the okay from the drone operator, and everyone was antsy. Everyone's feet hurt. So the second she was like, "We're good," it was like, "Go!" And Dave missed the memo. So if you watch the footage back, everyone's like running on their way back in from already diving in, and he's just like passing them to the water.
I'm pretty sure I yelled at everyone, probably you, Meader too. I said, "Get back in there. We're doing this again."
Hey, I would have. I mean, if it's for charity, man, I'm down.
So that's why. One, I mean, you're an interesting dude to begin with. Obviously, I didn't really know much about you before doing a little research and everything, and talking to you. But
what'd you do for research? I'm super interested in how you went about finding me, because I'm willing to bet you didn't find everything.
Let me tell you what I did find. So I typed in on Google, in Meader, New Hampshire. Couldn't find much on there, I'll be honest.
Yeah.
Then I went to your podcast, listened to little snippets here and there. What I really tried to do today was, I'm getting good at this too. This is a Sean Evans technique. Okay. You listen to podcasts, but you listen to like 2 times speed.
Yeah.
And you can just crank out information that way. Fortunately, I had to take a call for work, but going forward, I'm going to start doing that like every day, because holy shit, that saves so much time.
You know what's great about the plunge?
What?
We're repellent to that.
What do you mean? What do you mean by
we're already like?
Yeah, so
we're too fast paced.
So at like
that
2 times speed, we're just not gonna be able to.
If you try to listen to the plunge at 2 times speed, it just simply will not work.
Well, pretty much the short answer is, unfortunately, I couldn't get enough. However,
that's the point of the show.
I'm a very curious guy.
Yeah.
So these questions lined up, but that was one of the reasons why I wanted to bring you on here and talk to you, dive into your head on who is Meader from New Hampshire. I've never, in the 2 years that we've done the Plunging for a Cause, I've never seen anyone like at 6 p.m. where the last hour, like, yeah, I'll just match anyone 100% last hour, and over $700, I believe.
You gotta hit those goals.
Also, though, you know, when we shut down, they were supposed to come on at 5 to 6 the first day.
Okay.
The when we initially did the stream.
Right.
And when I told them like, hey, you guys, like, we can't do it anymore. Sorry. Like we had to shut down, yada, yada. Him and Pepin still went live and they still fundraised money for us. And they went live for over 2 hours and raised
No way.
probably what, like $400 or $500 during
Yeah.
that session too.
That was a good chunk. That was awesome.
Yeah.
Dude.
So before he came and did a match on the Extravagant 8, they went live on their own the day of the original stream and raised another like $500 for us.
Riley uses a term that I've pretty much been using every day now. It's called the good people. Meader, I'm putting you in the good people category. That's insane, man.
Oh wow. Well, thank
You're
you
a
so
homie.
much.
No problem. That's huge. I didn't know that.
Yeah. No, I mean it's hard to get Pepin's time. He's busy. I'm busy. So when we have time that we're together, we're like, we have to create content. Otherwise we're never gonna have a show. And we haven't missed an episode in whatever the 5 years we've done it. We're on 270 something episodes or whatever.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. So like what I know you said earlier the podcast was really meant for you and Pepin to get together and just kind of talk it out. Like, kind of just friends. That's pretty much what the plunge was originally.
Still
like,
is. I mean,
let's have an excuse to talk to each other for like an hour and a half, 2 hours.
Yeah.
Did you ever think it'd get this far?
No.
Yeah.
No, not at all. But anytime that I do something, like I can never just do a thing. I always take it way too far. I always take it to 11. So like I play in a Madden league, right? But instead of just being in the league, now I'm one of the league admins. I'm the head of broadcast. I created an entire broadcast division where we have 2 live commentators and a producer with actual like full produced graphics doing everything. And we live stream 2 real humans playing the game together with actual commentary about that game and the competitors and the players and everything. So,
and what's that called? It's the
TPC Sports Live.
Yes, go check that out.
I'm definitely checking that out later.
Yeah.
You'll
You'll hear his sweet velvet voice on the on the booth
Oh.
every now and then.
So if you were are you a big football guy, Meader?
He's like a big Madden guy.
Yeah. Would you be like a Tony Romo in the booth? Like, would you? How do you break down?
See, I think he's
plays?
more of a Jim Nance.
Jim Nance?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do play by play better than I do color because I don't even know all the positions in football. Like I just learned what a linebacker was. So
okay. And you just took it. You just took this. You're like, dude, I like Madden. I like talking. Here we go.
I liked the community. That was really the thing I liked. And I said, how can we like grow the community? And everybody there was streaming anyway. So I'm like, how can we do this thing? I said, I reached out to Langell, the owner of the actual organization. And I was like, hey, would you mind if I just like talk over this and stream it to my own personal one? And he's like, yeah, go ahead, go for it. Knock yourself out. So I did. And I guess him and his wife were listening or his wife was listening and was like, Langell, you need to come listen to this. And from there, he's like, okay, now we need to like do this. It has to be a whole thing now because that was awesome. And it used to just be me. I'd do everything myself. And now we have like an entire team, which is really amazing to watch that community grow.
I love this. I got a warm, fuzzy feeling in my heart the past like half hour.
Well, I'm not a doctor, so.
No, well, it's all right. It's 2021. You could say
he got his vaccine today. It's
you
fine.
could say
that's probably it then.
Yeah. I don't know what's gonna.
It's the COVID in your heart.
I don't know what's
It's all
gonna
that COVID.
Learning.
We'll see what happens. Be like a zombie from I Am Legends, but hear me out. I know. I again didn't know much about you before this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting to know you now. Like I said earlier with Riley, you are good people. Can I be honest here? I'm going to be honest.
I would hope so.
Yeah,
Do it.
this is Justified.
We don't lie on Justified.
We don't lie on Justified. We tell the truth, whether it sucks or not. I lost all hope in community, just in general. Just
like with the last year.
Yeah, well, just I guess a year and a half, probably ever since like social media. So you have that social media bump of community, which everyone's like, holy, community driven to a whole new level. And I think that's who we as humans are. We're social creatures. We love community. You know, that's why we have friends and stuff.
Yeah.
I just feel like community the past 5 years has just gone downhill. Like you don't see like neighborhood block parties anymore, or let's all go do this one day. Granted, that could be due to COVID, but Meader's still kicking out here with community.
Yeah, I think you have to find your tribe in this day of social media. Like you have to find your niche of the community, and I think you've somehow just perfected that.
I mean, I don't know if that's even true. I just try and be a part of really cool communities and do whatever I can to keep the spirit of community alive. I guess my biggest real passion is like serving people, and like helping give people whatever it is that they need, to do better and be better and try and hit whatever they're trying to do, whatever their goals are. Or whatever their absolute needs are. And
that's really true of you too, because anytime I've ever seen you, you've come up to me and been like, Riley, the plunge is doing great. How can we help? How can we help you guys, grow? How can we help you do like anything? And anytime I've ever seen you, but you've just been asking, how can you help? And I think that just says something about who you are as a person.
I mean, and I think you guys are very much the same, at least from what I know of you, Dave, and obviously you, Riley. Like you guys could, try and make a whole bunch of money off of podcasting or do it for any of those reasons, but instead you turn it all straight into like you use what you've built and find a way to make it like benefit the most amount of people possible, and in a real tangible way, especially with your fundraiser. Like that's amazing. That's amazing, amazing stuff. That is super inspirational to me.
I'm going to say it. I love you, Meader.
I love you too, Dave.
I'm going to say it. This is great. This is not what I expected today's episode to be of. I was expecting just like learning more about you, which we are. But holy moly, man. And what episode is this? 14, 15? 16. Whoa! Look at that. We're past the 15 mark.
I don't know shit about turtles, just for the record.
You don't know shit
You're not
about
a herpetologist?
Is that really what it's called?
Yeah.
Listen, I learn on this show.
Yeah,
there's been like 6 people who have brought animals to the show.
I listened to the whole episode. Did he mention a herpetologist?
Oh yeah, herps.
Yeah, herps.
Oh shit. I do remember that now. Yeah, I remember that because I was laughing.
Big time herp guy.
Yeah.
BTHG, baby.
They're all awesome. And that's the theme I like to stick with is I like to talk to interesting people. And you piqued my attention with I do remember you at Curly's. I do.
Dude,
because afterwards
he was sitting there with the plunge shirt.
Yeah, because afterwards
showed a number 1 fan.
You came up to Riley, and I remember overhearing you guys, and you're like, "Hey man, like that was fantastic."
Came up, he was like, "Who is that black guy choking on chicken wings?" In the front row?
We love you, DM BLTT. He's doing great, by the way. But I mean, good people, man. I don't know where I was going with this. I was trying to remember
you
where I was going.
remembered where you met him.
I do remember what I meant, yes. And what piqued my interest about you is that last hour of the live stream. I didn't even know you did that, like, when we were shutting things down for the day because that COVID scare. Like, you were still like, all right, well, fuck it, might as well keep going. Like, that's insane. Do you know how, like, I bet you 100 people would be in that position. Probably, like, you and, like, 2 other people would take that and be like, all right, let's keep the show going.
I want to believe very differently. I want to believe most people would do the same thing.
You know what? I think most people in society wouldn't, but most people in your communities would, because you are attracted to good people. You find yourself surrounded by good people. Yeah,
it's definitely a blessing for sure.
Yeah.
All right, I got one then. So I would say you're master of communities. I'd say you know how to, in a good way.
I'm not going to be able to live up to anything you guys are saying. This is
Jim Jones over here.
Way too up my own ass.
If you were elected president, would you say president is like just the head honcho of communities? What would you do?
It should be, but is a different story. Because go ahead.
Say you're in an HOA. What's the person in charge called? He's the president of the HOA. Are you talking to the president of?
I'm talking about the United States, man. I'm talking about.
I thought you were referring
I'm
to
not
the
talking
term president. I was
No.
like, yes, that is what the leader of something is
I'm
called.
talking about President of the United States, President Meader's here, or Mayor. If we can go Mayor Meader, if you want to. Anywhere where there's a community, what's your biggest goal to bring people together? Like, what's the tools you're gonna use? How you gonna do it?
I mean, I think this is something that's still baffling to me because, you're saying all these nice things about, my ability to help create communities. I don't even know if that's the case because, like, I feel like no one person can be responsible for anything like that. It takes all of the people together.
But you know what it takes, though? It takes the person to bring them together. And without that, which is you, none of it exists.
We need a leader.
Without any of them, it does.
Yes, but without you starting Podcast New Hampshire and facilitating the meetup and doing all this stuff, I never would have met Dave from Waking Up From Work. He never would have been part of our plunge team. He never would have, we never in a million years would have sold out Curly's. Like, we wouldn't have done all that. And it takes the person to take the initiative and go out and say, I'm going to bring these people together. I'm going to start this. I'm going to do X. You're that person, and everything needs that person in order to get the ball rolling.
Well, then I guess as mayor, I wouldn't really have any place because the community already exists there.
Okay, starting a new small town.
My idea wouldn't be to necessarily like try and, because I don't think you can force people to care about each other. I don't think you can force people to do anything really. So rather I would try and set the example by continuing to ask my favorite question: what can I do to help you? What can I do to serve you? And hoping
I thought your
that
favorite question is a hot dog a sandwich?
Listen, everybody knows everything is a sandwich, okay?
Thank you.
I would say hot dog's a sandwich. Yeah, we'll get to that in a second.
Listen, that's not even. That's grade school level sandwichery. All right.
See, this is the type of philosophy stuff we talk about.
Right.
And I've also branded us as #SmartComedy because not only do we talk about, some philosophical stuff, but we'll, like Nate and I one time were talking about quantum mechanics, but we'll also end up talking about dicks. Like, we'll talk about...
Yeah, you had me and Hunter on, and we went from talking about the education system to somehow like pedophilia.
Oh, yeah.
And
well, that's a short leap, huh?
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, I went to school in Maine. Sorry.
Oh, sorry. You're incest. My bad. So, Meader, it's been
oh Lord,
it's been a rough year for community stuff. Is there anything on the horizon for Podcast New Hampshire or Podcast USA as a whole?
I mean, getting back to the biggest thing that Podcast USA really needs is leaders, because I can't run all of them.
You can't have a presence in Kentucky.
I can't run 50 states simultaneously. I can't.
Yeah.
Right.
At the size that even Podcast New Hampshire is, I can't run that just by myself. Like, it takes everybody wanting it in order for it to work. I can't be the only one wanting it. So, that's been the biggest struggle, is finding people who are willing to step up and do it. And I've never made money doing this. I've paid a lot of money. I own all 50 domains for every state, and most of Canada. And I host several websites for established communities for like 15 different states. And that's all 100% out of pocket. I make no money. Nobody pays me anything. So I've probably spent thousands of dollars a year just in web presence alone, let alone time. This isn't about making money. This is about bettering a budding industry and creatives that don't currently have the means to do what they want to do, and trying to make a better system for everybody involved, for all of the little people, so that Joe Rogan doesn't completely wipe out, all of the smaller people who are trying to do this thing. This really cool thing.
Yeah, Joe's coming for you, man.
I think that is
fucking right around the corner coming for you.
He's fucking
knocking on the door, man.
I think that is a great part of the community, is just helping and encouraging people. There are people in the community who don't even have a show. because they used to have a show and they just love the community, or they have an idea for a show. The people with like episodic shows in mind and like story tale type stuff. And they're just here and they don't know where to get started, but like there's people around them to help encourage and help push them and give them advice and tell them, well, how do I get on Apple? How do I get on Spotify? There's people around who are just resources for help. And I think it's just really cool to have that. And that's why, I'm excited for COVID and I'm excited for this next meetup because it's so great to see like-minded people in the area. Because I feel like podcasting is a thankless game. You send stuff out. There's no reward.
Screaming into the void.
You talk into a microphone and you hope on some end somewhere you're making someone laugh or you're helping someone out. Or you're making someone's day. You're making someone smile. And you don't get the validation. It's a no validation game. And I think seeing all these people in the local area really, like, on top of, the people you interact with online, but actually meeting the people and like talking shop with someone in person it's just great. I think it's in podcasting, it hits different to be with people and do this creative thing.
It really does. It really does. And there have been so many great things that have come out of those meetups, cross collaborations, new shows, people revamping their shows, and your live stream, your big epic live stream. You had mentioned, I think you guys had already had that idea because you had mentioned it to me.
We had like roughly thought about it because me and Hunter loved Rooster Teeth's their Extra Life. Yeah, we had loved theirs. Me and him had both been fans for years, watched it every year all the way through. And we had always thought about one day doing it, but we were like, well, we're a podcast, you can't podcast for 24 hours. Let me tell you. But then we talked to you and you were like, I mean, hey man, like it doesn't need to be podcasting and it doesn't need to just be straight up like you talking into a mic, like do some stuff. And that's where it came from. And you kind of helped push us over the edge to do it. You and Dave were like, yeah, fucking let's go.
Yeah, Dave's Dave an amazing guy.
He's also good people. Great people.
Dave is good people.
Guys, I think we're going to have him on Justified coming up in the next couple weeks.
He will be coming up soon.
That's a really good idea.
He's a workhorse, man. That dude.
He is.
I don't know if he sleeps or not, I'll be honest.
And yet he always has a positive disposition.
Seriously, dude. That's what I love about Justified and everything about podcasting is for me personally, I like to see the growth of, okay, here's what I was saying, like, I don't know, episodes 1 to 5 or something like that. Here's what I can improve on, though. But instead of saying that, let me phrase it this way so it comes across better. Or let me, if like someone has a stuttering problem, let me work on that. Or if someone's
it's not even necessarily growth in numbers. It's growth in
a person. And then you can apply that to something else. Like, okay, I'm going to go ask this girl out and, or I'm going to go ask this dude out, whatever. What I'm learning about good old pal Meader here is that sure, the world may be tough right now, but if you got a good community, that's all you need in life. All you need. You just keep going. You do what you need to do.
Keep your circle small and keep on grinding.
Keep on grinding, man. Like a student athlete, you just don't stop. You keep
don't stop. Don't get paid.
Yep.
Just like a student athlete.
Podcasting is like being a student athlete.
It's all about just putting the time and effort into something you love. And Meader, you've made that very clear. What I do want to make clear is how much do you love New Hampshire, especially over Maine?
New Hampshire's great. I wish that they would hold a little more true to their live free or die slogan. I've lived here for 10 years, so like this is my state now too. So
yes, sir. Welcome.
But like anytime people are like live free or die, we don't have to buckle up. We can die in a car crash. Like, is that really what live free or die is about?
Live free or die is 3 things in New Hampshire. It's I can go get a gun in any given time in 8 minutes.
Yeah.
It's I don't need to wear a helmet. Fuck you. And it's I don't need to wear a seatbelt. That's about it. That's taxes. All it applies to. Like
the taxes are a really big deal too.
That's true.
Yeah. Especially if you just go right over the border to Mass, like, or even Maine, you're like, wow, you guys are getting raked over the coals.
Just on Amazon, like I forgot. Like I got something shipped when I was in LA for a couple weeks when I was with my brother. I got something shipped. I was like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
This says $99. What is going on here?
It's brutal. So were you in Maine for a good portion of your life?
Yeah, that's where I grew up all the way through that. I went to the University of Maine, and then when I left Orono, Maine, I came to New Hampshire.
Yes, sir. My dad lives in Bangor, so
Yeah, right next
Orono
door.
is very, very small but beautiful. It's
Yeah.
cold, quiet, and beautiful out there.
Yeah, I mean, if you visit it once or twice, yeah, it's beautiful. If you live there,
I remember the Burger King. That's all I remember.
You know, it's a
There's just
memorable
one-
place.
There's just one main street. There's a giant ass hotel. There's a Burger King. There's the highway right there.
that's it.
Yeah, pretty much. That's all I remember, man.
That's Bangor, man. You just fucking nailed it.
Pretty much, yeah. Pretty much. So I wanted you to rank these cities in order in Maine from great to bad. Okay, so I'm
Are
gonna
we
give
starting bad or like
In regards to
number
is there
one.
certain criteria?
Just
as
in
far
general, just like what your
Okay.
personal preference.
Got it.
So like number one will be like this is the place to live in Maine kind of thing. Number four will be like your last on the list, what you don't like. So
All right.
I'm gonna go with Portland, Maine.
Yeah.
We're gonna go with Augusta. We're gonna go with Waterville. And we're gonna go with Bangor.
what about Orono?
You know what, dude? For you, we'll put Orono in there too. Number 5, Orono.
I mean, you can wrap Orono with Bangor
That's
since
pretty
it's
much
it's
I
just
don't know
Orono is
because
the college, and that's it.
Up there, man.
I don't want to go.
Dude, you want to go to the county?
No, I don't even want a little bit.
Get up to the boo.
Yeah.
I go to
Oh.
I go to Portland. I visit Hunter. I come home. That's it.
I'm sorry. I'm forgetting one more. Bar Harbor.
Okay, yeah.
You gotta put that-
Bahaba.
What about Acadia?
That's kind of
I mean, that's
That doesn't qualify as Maine. That's kind of its own.
no, it is. It's,
Okay.
It's kind of like tied into Bar Harbor.
Okay.
It is beautiful.
Okay.
You
All
would,
right.
you would love that. You would love it.
sure.
wait. They have the national park, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I snuck in there once.
You snuck in there once.
Yeah,
It costs like $6.
I know. I was in college. bud.
All right.
We,
put the list aside for right now. So you snuck in to Acadia Park.
Yeah. I was in the trunk of a car, me and a girl, and we were under a blanket. We just fucking went in there.
Here I am. Meter is still good people.
Mhm.
Meter, didn't
I
you get
love-
knocked out when you lost your virginity or something in the backseat of the car? I remember episode 69 of The Plunge. He left a voicemail, and that was fucking 2 years ago. But I still remember his voice.
That was yeah. Go back and listen to the virginities episode of We Need to Talk. Use that as a little teaser.
All right.
But yeah, that was a hell of an experience. And Nate's story is really great too. So
Perfect. All right, back to Maine.
Jesus. Yeah. All right. It's just the main towns. Yeah.
Portland, Bangor, Waterville, whatever the fucking other one was.
Augusta and Bar Harbor.
I don't know nothing about Augusta.
Yeah, there's not much. There.
Sounds bad.
There's
It's
not
just the
much.
capital.
Yeah. It's kind of like the middle, like the midway point.
Yeah.
Is that how they choose the capitals? Because that seems to be how Concord was chosen.
Maybe. Yeah. If you think about it. Yeah. Where's the Concord of Vermont? That's like at the bottom though, right?
Montpelier?
Yeah.
Did you just say the Concord of Vermont?
Concord of
Oh,
Vermont.
did I say?
He's not wrong. I mean,
He's not. We knew what he said. That's all that matters.
Look, we're
also, we
We
have
can
to be the
rephrase.
only 3 people who know the capitals to Vermont, New Hampshire, and Maine.
Montpelier.
And all the 6th graders who just took that test.
Yeah, we just learned.
First off, congratulations to all the 6th graders. You know,
Mhm.
you're thriving right now. Whatever e-learning you're doing, keep it up, bud. Yeah. What's have you ever been in the county of Maine?
No.
No, dude, I haven't either, but I kind of want to go.
I've been to like the territories section.
It's kind of the county.
I mean, it's not. It's the other side of the state.
Yeah, but that's like
All of
It's
Maine
over
seems
there.
to be the county.
pretty much I count anything not by the seacoast.
Yeah, it's got to be not the seacoast and
And
not Acadia.
like
Maybe
maybe
the
like
county, right?
30 miles north of Orono. is the count. Not even 30 miles, probably like 50 miles north of Oregon.
Well, this would be like due west of Augusta. This is like New Hampshire,
you're by,
Maine
like-
border.
Yeah, so you're like by the lakes.
Yeah, it's the territories where they're like the town names are like territory A198.
Yeah.
It's like not even a real town.
It's like when you go to elementary school in New York, you're at PS 192. You're like, yeah, all right, this is my school now.
Exactly. Was that a Hey Arnold reference?
Maybe.
So
Does that just stand for public school 192? Is that all Hey Arnold was?
Yes.
So you're 30, I'm 24. We got a 6-year difference. Not too far apart, but just far apart where, we might not pick up on references. What if I told you that I maybe watched Hey Arnold when I was like 6 months old and that was it?
Why?
Sweet.
That's a bad call by you. It's a
What
great
awesome.
not
What did you
saying-
like growing up?
What's up?
What did you like growing up? What was your Hey Arnold?
Oh, dude.
Hey Arnold was.
What was the Hey Arnold debate?
That's why I don't know what his Hey Arnold was. I'm
I
confused.
watched a lot of like Nick at Night.
So you watched Full House. Your Hey Arnold
No,
was Full
no,
House.
I
What the
watched-
fuck?
I watched a lot of like George Lopez. I remember a lot of George Lopez.
I'm
Yeah.
confused.
Well, Hey Arnold's like a after school cartoon where like there's always a lesson at the end and all that. So like George Lopez was live action. That was like a Full House or whatever.
Yeah, I wasn't a big cartoon guy though.
No,
Fair
I
enough.
still not.
you don't seem like a cartoon guy.
No, which is I get
You
criticized.
look like you'd rather watch the news than Family Guy.
Absolutely, absolutely. Because let me tell you, the news is a lot scarier sometimes than Family Guy. Which, I will say though, have you guys watched Family Guy recently though?
Yeah.
No.
No, dude, they've changed a lot.
Yeah, they have.
Like it's definitely you should definitely.
Stewie's not
give it
like
a-
evil anymore. He's
No.
just like a stupid baby.
He's just there. He's just
Yeah.
chilling. Meader.
I didn't like it. I didn't like Family Guy to begin with, so
Really?
I don't know how I'd like the changes. Maybe it'll be better.
I don't think you would.
No, I don't. No.
Um,
Based off this hour convo I've had with you, I don't think you'd enjoy it.
Fair
I'm gonna.
enough.
All right, my
you're a BoJack Horseman kind of guy.
I did watch BoJack Horseman.
Ooh.
That
You
was a
said-
great show.
You said I was about to say I don't know how you like BoJack. You said I did watch it.
Yeah, I watched all of it. Yeah, that was a good show. I liked that show.
So if I were to put Meader into a show, it would have to be funny, but like witty, and it would have to have a good meaning at the end of it.
Hey Arnold.
Is that Hey Arnold?
I mean, it kind of is. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't know about witty. Was it really witty?
I'd say you're witty. I'd say you're a pretty witty guy.
Was Hey Arnold though?
Oh, it was Hey
You know, if
Arnold.
you go back.
No,
and
I'm fucking funny as hell.
Olga's mom was an alcoholic.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No, she took pills more than anything.
She did a lot of shit.
Look what happens. You do
They hide a lot of shit in those shows. When
They
you watch
do.
back, you're like, oh.
You a big SpongeBob guy, Meader?
I watched a lot of SpongeBob growing up. Yeah.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah.
I think that was the one cartoon I watched.
Yeah, it's a good
Oh,
one.
what was that one with the dog?
Which one? There's
Yeah,
That was
it
real
was the dog the main character or was he a side?
Rocko's Modern Life? Because that's
he
not
was
a dog.
no,
Cat
he was
dog.
the no, not cat dog. I did watch the Rocket Kids.
Rocket-
Yeah. Rocket Power. Yeah.
Rocket Power, yeah.
The
those were-
Rocket
the Rockets. I watched those kiddos. No, what the fuck was it?
The
Nate
one-
and I accidentally saw a porn of that once.
Excuse me?
Really?
Yeah.
Reggie was out here fucking Raymundo? Like what?
Yeah, there's this one episode of Rocket Power. It's a real episode where like they're trying to do this. Sam is on his computer and he like makes up this move that's supposed to be physically impossible.
Yep.
So then Otto's trying to do it, and their neighbor hits a tennis ball with their with a lawnmower, and it launches and it hits him while he's doing the spin, and it makes him actually able to land it because it like breaks the physics for whatever
Yeah.
reason. It was literally like almost a shot for shot of that, except it had a whole bunch of fucking. And we were in high school. We
I
had
like
never.
thinking Sammy getting stuck in the trash can. They play street hockey in, and then he hits him with it. What are you doing, Otto, bro?
Courage
Yeah, that
Cowardly
was
Dog.
fucked up.
Oh,
That's
What's
what
that?
it was.
that's not Nickelodeon.
Which one was it?
Courage the Cowardly
Oh
Dog.
yeah, that's a good one.
That one scared me.
That's a good one.
I had
That
nightmares
was the
about
scary
that.
one.
Yeah, that
Yep.
one scared me.
We've talked
Yeah,
about
that
this
was
before.
Cartoon
My
Network.
nightmare show was Hey Arnold. There was
What?
one episode.
Oh, okay. I
Yeah,
was
it
about to
was
say in
one
general.
specific episode of Hey Arnold that gave me nightmares for years.
Wanna talk-
Are You Afraid of the Dark got me. That one was scary.
That was a little before our time.
Yeah, you guys don't know that one.
I don't know. We'll get there though. I'm gonna watch that. I'm also gonna watch that porn tonight that you recommended.
Okay.
I heard
Perfect.
Paramount Plus has all of the Disney stuff.
Has all of the
all of the
porns.
Nickelodeon stuff.
Does it?
Yeah. I kind of want Paramount Plus now.
We'll go splitsies.
Okay.
We'll go
Then you can
splitsies.
watch Hey Arnold.
Yeah, there you go. It all comes full circle. You know what does come full circle though? Hot sauce. Now, Meader, you talked about the bomb earlier. Are you a big hot sauce guy? You strike me as a big hot sauce guy.
Yeah, I love hot stuff. When I was growing up, I planted my own hot pepper plants, and I would just eat those raw jalapenos, and then I had to move up to habaneros. And now I have acid reflux, so I take a pill
Same.
every day.
Gerd team Gerd for
Yeah,
life.
good for sure. So now I take a pill every day, and I can still eat hot stuff, but I try and taper it back a bit because then I have to bust out the Tums, and
Right.
it's just a nightmare.
Okay, but would you change anything in your past to make to not have that acid reflux, or you're still sticking with it 100%?
No, I mean, I think if you change something in your past, it has the possibility of having that butterfly effect, and I don't want anything to change. I like where things are at right now, and it's about moving forward, not back.
I like that. One last question before we head out. This is definitely a strike in the dark, man. So if I miss, please tell me.
All I can do is be honest, buddy.
You seem like a big time Bigfoot guy.
Okay.
Do you like Bigfoot? Do you
I
think
haven't
he's
met
real?
him, so I don't know.
Are you do you believe in that stuff, like Loch Ness monster, Bigfoot, aliens, that kind of?
Oh, man, those are three very different things.
All right.
Those are very different.
Anything that is debated to be real or not.
Oh my god.
Man, that is still very. I imagine you're talking
Go
about like
back to
cryptids
Bigfoot.
and stuff.
Let's
I think aliens are much more likely than Bigfoot, and Bigfoot's more likely than Loch Ness monster, and like it like has a hierarchy of those, and maybe we'll have you on our show, and we'll go over all of the cryptids, and actually I think we've done that. We'll figure something out.
Dude, I'm down for whatever, man. I don't even know much about cryptids, but you seem like a big Bigfoot guy. Yeah, if
You know what they say about Bigfoot guys?
they're packing, I'll say it. No one's gonna say it. Again, Meader and a sentence. He's good people. He cares about the community. And
Yes.
He's there for you.
My question is, are you using the Oxford comma?
He's a semicolon kind of guy.
Yeah, I think semicolon would fit best there.
It wouldn't.
No, would it not?
No, not even a little bit.
Well, the semicolon, yeah, but then you name three things, so that's a list. So at some point you have to have commas in there.
Oh, okay. And you know what he is? He's a bullet guy.
Oh, okay.
I am a big time bulletless guy.
All right. We'll get the
It's not even
NRA
a
on.
semicolon anymore. It's a colon and bullets.
I'm
Baby.
a shopping list guy, dude.
All about the colon.
I love this. We talked about for the first half hour about community and charity and everything like that. The past 20 minutes, we're just shooting this shit about Bigfoot, Hey Arnold.
Mhm.
This is who Meader is, ladies and gentlemen.
This is it.
This is it. I love it. I love you. I'm going to say it again. If you don't like that, that's fine. We can talk about that after. But right for right now, I love you. Thank you for what you do to the community. Meader, where can everyone find you?
So the podcast is We Need to Talk. And I just search that wherever. Facebook.com/We Need to Talk show. And then I'm at Meader in most other places. That's my Twitter handle. But more than anything, like let's continue to push forward, and you guys are amazing. Love you guys too. And keep doing what you're doing. Let me know what I can be doing to be a part of it, and to continue to make this, what you guys are doing, hugely successful. And congrats on what you're doing. And I love your show, by the way, Dave. I hadn't listened to it before. You asked me to come on, and I panicked. I'm like, I haven't listened to any of it. I feel like a dirtbag. So I went through and listened, and they're really good. You do a good job of directing the conversation, and I mean, I'm saying this on your show, so people know. They know exactly what I'm talking about. Like, you do an amazing job, so good work.
Did you listen to the Vermin episode?
I didn't. I saw that today. I hadn't gotten down that. I started at the top and was working down. I hadn't gotten to it yet, and I was like, "Oh man, I wish I did. That's got to be gold."
Dude, if there's like 3 episodes you like, if I would recommend, one would be Vermin. That I think
we didn't talk.
Yeah, I think me and Riley
for
did, like,
almost any of it.
5 minutes of talking.
Maybe like cumulative.
How unhinged is he?
He
Like
showed
a
up.
10?
He showed up shirtless.
Wait. He was
on
live in studio?
No.
No.
He showed
Like,
up.
Jesus Christ.
He had on his webcam. He was he was outside, shirtless, with the boot on his head and like 6 ties. And then when he opened up the camera, he started gurgling like mouthwash, and then did a spit take onto the camera, and went, "Hi, kids." We're like, "Oh Jesus, fuck! What did we get into?"
Why is he not president?
And then he started
talking.
Listen, you're gonna listen to it. He's gonna have you hooked. That's the thing we learned about him. Is like, I get why he's so famous and like
he's
taken seriously.
He's charismatic as hell, man.
Because he'll start talking because he's so well spoken.
Yeah.
He is so well spoken when he gets like serious, and he'll be talking about like political agendas, and he'll be going on something. You'll be like, and that's why I believe we should shrink the ponies and put them in our wallets.
You're like,
You'll be like, God damn it, he got me. Like,
He got me again.
he'll just like you'll be good. You'll be like, you know what? I'm starting to think this guy's all right. They'll be like, and that's how we will fuel a zombie-filled apocalypse. Like, son of a bitch.
He's awesome. Like, and I was totally shocked because I had probably like 20 questions. Like, I was like, all right, this is a big guy. I gotta do some deep research about like nuclear weapons and stuff, which he's gone public about. And I'm like, so what's your view on nuclear weapons? And he'd be like, well, let's talk about the ponies real quick. Right? Fuck, dude. Yeah, sure, man.
Yeah, we asked
Let's
maybe
go
2
for it.
questions,
Yeah.
and he just fucking told stories the whole time. I was
And
like,
I-
let's
Right on.
I loved every second. I remember after we got done the call, I looked at Riley and I just said, that was fucking awesome. And
We should cancel the show. We're not going to top it.
No. We're canceling the show after this episode, Meader.
No. Verbin Supreme, man. That I'm really excited to listen to that. Don't cancel the show. Keep interviewing people because you do an awesome job. So
Dave
keep it
is
up.
great. I think I'm very happy to have Dave on board hosting
Happy to have
our
you,
2
man.
other shows, being, Justified and Plungeons and Dragons. He does a great job. You're a great interviewer,
Thanks,
Dave.
babe. I try.
Yeah,
You're a creative dungeon master.
I
You're good at
wouldn't
keeping
go that
people
far.
engaged.
I
And
try.
thank you for all you do for Team Plunge.
Thank you. Let's just everyone just give yourself a pat on the back real quick. Give yourself a pat on the back. You too, Meader. You too, man. I mean, if there's anything I can do for you,
Mhm.
you let me know. Okay,
I love it.
I don't know what I can offer, but I'll do my best. If you need your back scratched, I got you there. If you need a blank check, I'll go find some money. I got you. We'll figure this out. Okay.
I love it. Thank you so
right.
much, Dave.
I love you. Keep doing what you're doing, and we'll talk soon. Have fun, good sir.
Yeah, you too.
And